So Rust-Oleum recently reached out to me and they gave me some free samples of their new artist's acrylic paint. This has a matte finish and it's meant to be geared more towards artists. This stuff is supposed to be like UV resistant, it's got a lot of opacity to it, and it's also compatible with different nozzles. You guys probably know I already don't use different nozzles, but it could be useful for someone. You also may or may not know that I don't really ever paint on canvases. We're going to lean into both of them today and try the matte paint on the canvas and see how it turns out.
So starting off, going to give it a little shake-a-shake-a as per the manufacturer instructions. Listen to this very satisfying cap release noise. Okay, first off, everything came out much quicker than I was anticipating. It kind of reminds me of the Montana graffiti spray paint, which I know is meant more for muralists. I could see this paint being very useful for someone like that, although I'm not sure if the medium is specifically meant for being outdoors and used on murals. Everything coming out so quickly, it made it very difficult to control. I could tell this was not really going to be suited for my craft in particular, but again, I could definitely see this being useful for maybe a muralist. It was really challenging to create fine, delicate details. Especially when I switched over to a smaller canvas, it became nearly impossible to get the fine amount of detail that I normally like to get out of something a quarter of this size. Part of the consequence of this paint coming out very fast and thick was that it created so much paint that it just made this massive puddle. After it dried though, it was very soft. It almost makes me want to switch over to matte paints. As you can see here, I dropped a dollop on the ground. Not the first time I've dropped paint on the ground, but it's something I like to actively avoid if I can. And this is what came off of my paint scraper. Like, look at this. So taking a close-up at the canvas, you can see that after I scraped away the paint, it leaves behind the texture of the canvas. You can really see the weaving of the canvas underneath all the layers of paint, which is part of the reason that I've avoided using canvas thus far. It's not a texture that I really like to see in my paintings. And just for fairness, I tried it on my normal coated paper. What do you guys think? Should I give this another shot with a different nozzle?